radical Islamic movements in the world identify the West writ large, but the United States in particular, as the greatest evil on the earth. And every chance they have, the notion that somehow radical Islam would be comfortable with simply controlling some province in Iraq or Syria is just not borne out by history. Radical Islam has shown that their desire is not simply to occupy one part of the world and be happy with their own little caliphate. They want to expand. It's revolutionary in its nature. It seeks to expand and control more territories and more people. And radical Islam has designs openly on the West, on the United States, on Europe. We've seen that progress there as well. And they are prepared to conduct acts of terrorism. In the case of Iran, nation-state actions, assassinations, murders, you name it, whatever it takes for them to gain their influence and ultimately their domination of different cultures and societies. That's a clear and imminent threat to the world and to the broader West, but especially to the United States, who they identify as the chief source of evil on the planet. Okay, the reason why they hate the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the leadership of the UAE, of Bahrain, is because they've allowed the United States to partner with them. That's why they hate them. They consider them infidels for it. They hate Israel. But they also hate America. And they hate anywhere in the world that we have influence. They seek to attack it, including here in the homeland. If you look at the domestic terrorists, at the attacks that have happened here domestically, the overwhelming majority of them have been inspired by radical Islamic viewpoints. And that includes the shooting in the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida. That includes the Saudi pilot in Pensacola, my home state, 2 attacks.
A man who claims he's 55 years old comes to collect her. He's bought Parwana for 200,000 Afghanis, just over $2,000 US. Covered up, Parwana whimpers as her mother holds her. This is your bride, please take care of her, says Parwana's father. Of course I will take care of her, replies the man. His large hands grab her small frame. Parwana tries to pull away. As he carries her only bag of belongings, she again resists, digging her heels into the dirt. But it's futile. The fate of this small, helpless child has been sealed. 9-year-old Litan and 4-year-old Zeton for $1,000 US each. Do you know why they're selling you? The journalist asked Zeton. Because we are a poor family and don't have any food to eat, she says. Are you scared, he asks. Yes, I am. Another family in Gore province borrowed money from their 70-year-old neighbour. Now he's demanding it back, but they have nothing to give except their 10-year-old daughter, Magul. My daughter doesn't want to go and is crying all the time. I am so ashamed, he says. Terrified, she threatens to take her life. If they push me to marry the old man, I will kill myself. I don't want to leave my parents. Days later, she discovers the sale has been finalized. Another Afghan child sold into a life of misery.
Takia, can you talk about what that is?
Yeah, so Takia is so again, I came from a Sunni background and I hadn't even heard of it as a concept, but apparently in Shia Islam it's more of a bigger deal. But again, it exists in both. It's in the Sharia manuals. Essentially, to just in a nutshell, it's giving you permissibility to lie in order to further propagate the cause of Islam. So essentially, in order to make Islam look good or to, keep its PR in check, if you will, you're allowed to bend the truth, and you're allowed to hide and mask your identity and your real intentions and your real objectives in order to further Islam in any way.
In any way, so there's no moralistic boundaries to that?
Not that I'm aware of. If the end goal is that it will further Islam in any way that's positive, that's anything is okay.
In New York say they're alarmed after seeing Muslim community patrols driving through their neighborhoods in what looked like police squad cars. One America's Pearson Sharp has the details.
New Yorkers say they're shocked after seeing Muslim patrol cars roaming their neighborhoods like police squads. These Muslim community patrols just began operating in Brooklyn this year, and according to the Council on American-Islamic Relations, they are the first of their kind in the United States. The patrols sprang up as an apparent response to some 14 biased incidents against New York Muslims in 2017. Actually, a rather low number, considering there's over 8.6 million people living in the city. According to the group's vice president, Noor Rabah, the group currently has 30 members, but plans on rapidly expanding to cover the entire city. He describes the Muslim patrols like a neighborhood watch, but on steroids, with members dressed like police officers and driving cars identical to police squad cars. Residents say they're uncomfortable with the patrols, which they describe as being similar to Sharia police. Others have raised doubts about the purpose of the patrols, saying New York's police department is already very diverse, and their only job is to patrol the city streets and protect people from harassment or crime. So why does there need to be a Muslim group tasked with the same job as the police? Even other Muslims have raised questions about the need for the patrols, with residents expressing fears this is just another form of Sharia law enforcement. Similar groups can already be seen in other major European cities in Denmark, Germany, France, Sweden, and Britain. These patrols have been going on for years, and a CNN report caught Muslims from a patrol in London harassing residents. In Whitechapel, one man can be heard insulting a gay man, calling him offensive names and telling him he wasn't welcome in a Muslim area. Others denounce residents for drinking, claiming this is a Muslim area and alcohol is not permitted. They also harassed a woman as she was crossing the street, warning her that her short skirt was not allowed in Muslim areas. And now, with the arrival of these Muslim patrols to New York City, Americans are becoming worried they'll fall under the same harassment for not following Islamic practices. Pearson Sharp, One America News.
This is my testimony, my story, what God did in my life. I was born to a Sunni Muslim family, 14 brothers and sisters. I loved Allah because I feared Allah, because Allah can destroy anyone He wants to. Allah doesn't have a relationship with people because He is not looking for a family, sons and daughters. He's looking for slaves and martyrs. One day, my dad called me and he stood and he said, Kamal, you are not smart and you're not good for school. And you know what? I wish you were a girl. I'd have gotten rid of you by now. Because in Islam, if you're a 6 years old girl, they can give you away in marriage. I ran for my life and I hid in a mosque. A group of men came and protected me. They're called the Muslim Brotherhood. They became my fathers. I was trained as a child assassin. I was trained as sniper. I was trained as a bomb expert. And then I was sent to the United States of America to infiltrate. In the United States, I get in a car wreck. I was devastated and I was crying, Allah, where are you? And guess what Allah said? Absolutely nothing. Here I am in America and this man comes to me and he said, son, we're going to take care of you and everything is going to be all right. I was in his home and now I was introduced to a new God and they showed me the unconditional love of the living God, the generosity, the forgiveness, the protection of the living God. I go home and then I fall on my knees toward the east, toward Mecca, and I cry out, Allah, my Lord and my King, why have you done such a thing to me? And it's not the accident that I'm crying about. You put me among Christians. If you are real, speak to me. So when he didn't answer, I decided to finish my story and clock out. Put the gun in my mouth and I heard the Father called me by my name. He said, Kamal, my son, 3 times. He said, I am the God of Father Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. And he said, won't you call on me? I fell on my knees and I cried out with a loud voice, God of Father Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. If you are real, speak to me. God of Father Abraham, if you are real, I want to know you. Well, guess what happened? The room was filled with his glory and he stood there dressed in a white clothing. That man that saved my life, all of my life, he stood there with the tallit on his shoulder and he was a Jew, the King of Jews. And he has holes in his hand and his feet as he stood there. And I said, who are you, my Lord? He said, Ana huwa, I am he. What is that supposed to mean? I am that I am. I have known you before I created the foundation of the earth. I have loved you before I formed you in your mother womb. He's declared that he is my God. Kum Kamal, arise. And when I rose up, my neck was intact, my collarbone, my ribs, everything that was broken was perfect. But here's the best part. My mind and my heart were changed. were reformed. And now I'm standing in a reformation of the living God. And I want more of him. And I said, my Lord, I will live and die for you. He said, do not die for me. I died for you, that you may live.
Satan is the one who deceives the whole world, not the God revealed in Jesus Christ. There are things said about Allah of the Quran that clearly prove he cannot be the God revealed in the person of Jesus Christ. One of the things that Allah says about himself in the Quran, and he says this more than one time, in chapter 3 of the Quran, verse 54, it says that he is the best of all deceivers, the best of all schemers, the best of all connivers. The Arabic phrase is khairul makirin. That word makir, if you look at any Arabic lexical source, means someone who is a shyster, a conniver, a trickster, a deceiver. There is no way that a Christian could ever say of his God that his God is the best of all deceivers. Because according to the Bible, that's a description of Satan, not the God revealed in the person of Jesus Christ.